There's just a nice little head rush sometimes when you get that hot feeling. That's enjoyable.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we close out another year of the show with Daniel Radcliffe. He's of course known the world over for his role as Harry Potter in the 8-film series, as well as his work on Broadway, TV, and film. You can catch his latest projects, Escape From Pretoria and the Kimmy Schmidt interactive special, which are both streaming on Netflix now. Daniel Radcliffe, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. This is both exciting and terrifying.
Let me try to calm you down just a little bit. How are you with spicy food? Like, is it something that you reach for? Do you reach for the hot sauce?
I mean, I think I do, but I'm now realizing that, and having watched the show and become aware of the Scoville scale as a thing, I realize that I don't know where anything that I've ever eaten ranks on that scale. So I think of myself as being someone who likes hot sauce and spicy foods, but everything I've ever had might be at this end over here. And today I will experience what the other end is like, so we'll see. So long since I've been this legitimately nervous for an interview. It's a really cool thing. Yeah, I mean, that's great.
So I want to start by talking about your latest film, Escape From Pretoria, which tells the real-life story of 3 political prisoners escaping a prison in South Africa in the late 1970s. And it really is such a unique and daring escape. When you think about your real-life conversations with the actual Tim Jenkin, what stands out to you when you think about what he says on how it all actually worked out?
The amazing thing about Tim, so for anyone that doesn't know, a little bit about the story, basically one of the reasons I was so into this film and the script was that it just seemed like, it was a true story, and it was the true story of one of the most sort of unimaginably brilliant escapes that I ever thought of, and I was like, how is this not more widely known about? Tim Jenkin, the guy I play, worked out that the locks were big enough. If I can gather enough wood from the workshop, I can just make a key that fits out of wood. It's a very, very cool story.
How many takes did it take you to unlock the door from inside of your cell using a broomstick attached to a key?
So many, and I'm glad you asked that question, because this did not, I mean, I will, this is I'm not generally a person who's given to bragging or talking myself up, but I will say I was the only one of us that managed to actually do it. It was definitely getting to the point where I was I can do it. And the director was no, we can fake it in editing. It's really okay. And I was no, please, wait, give me one more try. And everyone's yeah, but we really want lunch. Can we please stop doing this? And eventually, I got one complete take, which did make it into the film. And I was, honestly, it's my best work in the film. It's the moment I'm proudest of. Great. Very happy with this. This is all that. Holding on to this feeling of, enjoying them. I put that in. There we go.
So one of the most underrated British exports are its TV quiz show and panel games, which oftentimes spawn popular remakes all over the world. As a trivia head yourself, how do you explain Britain's obsession with the quiz show format?
So, okay, first of all, British quiz shows on the BBC are my favorite because it's a government-funded thing, they can't be seen to be too crazy with giving away money. So people really are just doing it for the love of the quizzes. It's one of the holes in my cultural life in America now that I definitely do miss. And that's why I have to say, Jeopardy has really filled that void. So very sad about the Alex Trebek news, as the world rightly was.
Yeah, let's talk about Jeopardy for a second, because I know that that's a show that you've made a habit of recording whenever you're in the States. Did you see in 2014 they had an entire category dedicated to Daniel Radcliffe?
I know. No, that was my attention was drawn to that. That was a crazily cool moment. The moment I see a question about myself on a quiz show and I don't get excited is the moment I know I've kind of died a little bit inside. Because there is just like some weird, like, hey, that's me, that's so crazy, like thing that happens that is, I was thrilled by that.
And then, of course, we have to talk about Alex Trebek. It's been so great to see all these moving tributes to a guy who just seems like he was a part of our lives for decades. What, in your opinion, is the magic of Trebek as a host in that quiz show format?
I think it's that you could really tell how much he like loved the competition and the game of it. And like, you know, you would see him get like slightly not annoyed, but like when you didn't like when somebody didn't clear a board and when there were still a few questions left, or when like nobody ended up with much money because nobody had done really well, he'd just be like, okay, well, you know, we'll come back for Double Jeopardy after the break and I'm sure we'll all do better then. You could tell like he loved seeing people that were really smart do well, and that is the essential joy of a quiz show. And to be the only person that's ever hosted that, I mean, I'm sure they'll find someone, you know, incredible for that job. My God, they have gigantic shoes to fill. Wait, this is where DJ Khaled stopped?
Each season, we put out different sauces, but yeah, the equivalent to the third.
Okay. No, this is okay. I'm still in.
So you've likely spent thousands of hours of your life fielding Harry Potter questions, so I apologize before we get going, but you know, the audience, they would revolt if we didn't take a wing to discuss your role in one of the top grossing film franchises of all time. Can you give me one highlight and one lowlight when it comes to the food that you had to eat in the world of Harry Potter?
Yeah, definitely. The crazy like banquet scenes at Hogwarts where there was all like, you know, the breakfasts, particularly where it was just like I was just a 11, 12-year-old child just piling on fried eggs and bacon and sausages and baked beans every morning for just days. So that was great. And then in one of the films I have to eat gillyweed that I think was like black licorice lace. It was designed to look like a kind of underwater seaweed plant that I could then like shovel down my throat, and that was pretty gross. I remember by like the third or fourth take of that, I was like, how many more of these are we gonna do?
I read that you wore out something like 60 or 70 wands and went through 160 pairs of glasses. Are those reports exaggerated, or does that sound accurate to you?
They are. I would definitely say they are exaggerated. The glasses one, massively so. Like, I definitely didn't break the glasses that often at all, I don't think. The wands, I definitely like broke a lot because I would just like drum on my legs with it all the time and do that incessantly. And so probably like once every like 3 or 4 weeks, it would just like weaken to the point where it snapped, and then I would say I was very sorry to the prop master, and he would give me a look like, please stop drumming. They were very, very sweet with us and tolerated more than I hoped they would from an adult actor.
I've heard that scene in Professor McGonagall's classroom had something like 60 animals on the same set. Is that true? And if so, what do you remember about that day?
Debating whether I have to tell the story. You've asked about like such a specific thing in that McGonagall classroom. I definitely remember that there was there were a lot of animals. First of all, to address that part of the question, they must have had upwards of 60 there. I don't imagine they were often all on set together, but definitely in that scene, in the Transfiguration classroom, there was a monkey of some kind in a cage that did just start jerking off relentlessly. But generally speaking, the animals were very well behaved. Although I think Rupert maybe got peed on by a bat at one point as well. But yeah, I got away pretty cleanly after that. That's very nice.
So in addition to your TV and film resume, you've also taken your talents to the stage, even receiving a Stare and Drama Desk Award nominations for your work in How to Succeed in Business and Equus respectively. Which is a tougher crowd to please, movie critics or theater buffs?
I mean, I think there used to be more of a divide about like actors who do film coming to stage, and you used to get, I think, theater critics that would just inherently kind of not like actors if they had been mostly from movies or like they were coming into. But I think that isn't really a thing anymore either. Like, I definitely am not somebody who like has particularly suffered from that. I can't split them. I think if you do something shitty, everyone's hard to please. And then hopefully if you do something good, then the people that it's for will like it. I'm feeling confident. I'm gonna have more on the other side. Okay, yeah. Fine so far.
All right, Daniel, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive on our guest's Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. But you, Daniel, you've thrown us for a loop because you have no social media whatsoever to speak of. And it's probably for the best, but why have you decided to stay off the apps?
I would love to say there's some incredibly thought out intellectual reason for this, because I considered getting a Twitter at one point, and I 100% know that if I did, you would all be waking up to stories of like Dan Radcliffe gets into a fight with a random person on Twitter. Like, when I was younger, not anymore, thank God, I used to like look up comments about myself on the internet and would like read shit like that. That is an insane and bad thing to do. And to me, like, Twitter and everything just sort of feels like an extension of that. And like, if you have to, like, unless I was like gonna go on and just like read nice things about myself, which also feels like another kind of unhealthy thing to do. Other than that, I don't honestly think I'm like mentally strong enough. But right now I'm kind of all right with that.
On the topic of just sort of protecting your privacy, you know, often on the show, we'll talk about paparazzi evasion tactics that some of our guests have used over the years. And you have one that is brilliant. It's one that we've talked about internally for a long time, where you wore the same leather jacket in public for 6 months straight as a way to like frustrate photographers. Where did that idea come from? Was that your idea, or did somebody feed that to you?
No, it just happened. It was when I was doing Equus in London, and basically, like, you know, you're in a situation where the paparazzi know where you are and know you will be leaving at around the same time every night. So if they just want to like get pictures of you looking tired and pale, which is my go-to look, then, you know, they can just wait by the side where you come out and take them as you leave. Because it's the same door, it's the same background, I'm walking out the same way every night, and if I'm wearing the same clothes, they all look like they're from the same day, so there's no more value in it. And so I was just like, great, I am totally comfortable wearing the same pair of jeans and this jacket for the next like 3 months, and I can do that. So I did that, and then I have to say, I got given a gift once, which is, it's crazy that someone makes this, because it's such a niche market, but it was given to me as like, this is an anti-paparazzi jacket, and it is it's one of those jackets where it only works at night, I think, but if you wear it with the hood up and it's at night and you take a photo with a flash, it whites out everything on the camera except for the hoodie, so like you just get a photo of like a floating ghost hoodie. And I have used that once, and I never saw those pictures, so I can only assume it worked. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's very good. I like that a lot. This is fine. Oh God, okay. What is this? What are these last four gonna be like?
Pretty crazy. Strength to strength to strength to strength to close it out. So camera guy Bill over here is a big time A24 head and actually put me on to Swiss Army Man a while ago. You play a farting corpse. What was the most difficult thing to shoot between, you know, propelling yourself through water with your own gas, shooting acorns out of your mouth, the water spout, the you know, chopping things with your arm like it's an axe? What was, on a behind the scenes level, the most difficult to shoot?
Water spout was quite tricky, I think, but again, it was practical, which was awesome. So they fed it up my shirt and like had it come out of one side. But that was kind of tricky. But I think actually the most, like I mean, it was probably the most challenging to film, but also definitely one of the most fun things I have ever done was the opening sequence where he uses me like a jet ski to escape from that island. It's the best opening sequence of any film I have ever done, with no question marks in my mind. Every day on that film you came in and were like, what insane thing are we going to do today, and how are we going to do it? Because it's not like they had a ton of money to achieve that stuff. Like, this was a low budget film, and it does not look like it for one moment, in my opinion, because they just they're geniuses. I know things are going to start getting bad next, because next is the one that everyone case.
Getting real.
So. That's nice though. It's still like nice flavors. I thought like, sorry, stop talking my mouth full. I thought there were going to be more that were just like hot with nothing else. And so far there's like,
some redeeming qualities.
Yeah, exactly. There's something else going on in it, and it's nice. What is in this one?
And I'll say this, Daniel. I know that you were nervous before the shoot, but I will say this: amongst your countrymen, amongst the fellow Brits, you are at the close to the top.
Oh, really? Oh, great. Okay, good. That I mean, you're saying like for an English person, you can take your spice, which is a backhand sort of a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it.
So as someone who seems drawn to more esoteric roles, I find your love of B-movies really fascinating. In fact, you said in a 2014 interview, I suppose culturally, I'm not very cultured. What, in your opinion, is the best Dwayne Johnson film?
Oh, San Andreas. San Andreas is not like, the family storyline in San Andreas moved me more than it probably should have. Like, I think San Andreas is a genuinely, like, very, very good disaster movie. He has one of those qualities of an actor where, like, there is no film that he has done that is not better for him being in it.
Which Sci-Fi Channel original movie would you consider the greater cinematic masterpiece? Sharknado or Big Ass Spider?
Oh, I would say Big Ass Spider, for sure. And I don't know what it is about them that I keep going back to, and I really should watch proper films, because I do often find myself on sets where the director's like, have you seen this movie? And I'm like, nah, no. I've seen Big Ass Spider, and I've seen Dragon Blade. And that's it. So like that happens sometimes, and I need to get better references. Oh my god, it's so thick. Jesus Christ.
Thick boy.
Ah.
Wow. Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is one of the ones where you get to it and you're like, why did someone make this? Like, at what point in the like, you know, there's a testing process, there's tasting things, and they got to this, and they were like, it's perfect. Leave it, stop, don't add another thing, take nothing away, this is it.
Yeah, they're like, nailed it.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is definitely reminding me of the previous hottest thing I've ever had, which was you know what? I'm gonna pause and go for the milk.
You've eaten something on this level before?
Somebody once had I think it was called snakebite venom jerky, and it was just a sheet of like biltong kind of meat, but just coated the first two layers. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Absolutely coated the first two layers in like chili flakes, and like you ate the tiniest amount of it, and it just took over your mouth. Very similarly to how this is currently doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little test now as well. I got some normal milk, and I also got some almond milk. See if there's a difference, and if anything's more or less effective.
I'd be curious for the findings.
Much the same, pretty ineffective. I still feel everything.
So back in the day, it was sort of a trope of ours to talk to guests about their names being name-checked in rap lyrics, and I'm really excited to dust that off today because Harry Potter has to be one of the most name-checked fictional characters in the history of hip-hop. So what I want to do is just bounce a couple bars off of you. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't like them, maybe you're utterly confused. I'm just curious on how each hits your ear. And this first one is from Lupe Fiasco. Keep 'em in the air like a swan wing, and I'ma keep it magic as a Harry Potter wand swing.
Great. That's very pleasing. It's great. I didn't actually know that there was a history of Harry Potter turning up in rap lyrics, but that's very cool.
This next one is from Lil Wayne off Workin' 'Em. Bitches on my stick, but my name ain't Harry Potter. They think I'm very hotter. Your girls say the same.
Harry Potter, broomstick, wands. There's a lot of dick stuff you can do in that.
One last one for you. This is from Cupcake. It's a lovely line off CPR. And anytime my pussy wanna be hairy like Harry Potter, Becky with the good hair is what you could call her.
I mean, that's genuinely really funny. So yeah, that's my favorite. That one's impressive. I feel like there's a real jump. These two, I mean, sorry, I'm just like openly belching on camera now. Cool. But these two are just, how bad is it gonna be? Because I can't. I mean, and even if these were good, can I taste them now after having done Da Bomb?
Well, there's only one way to find out for sure.
I was gonna ask, have you ever had anyone like call back a few days later and be like, what did you do to me?
Here's what I think ends up happening. I think while it's happening is when it sucks the most for people. So like during the actual interview is kind of when I see that sort of what's going on, who put me on this show, and I'm stuck here sort of feeling that I'm getting from people sometimes. But then I think once people finish it, I feel like they almost feel like a sense of accomplishment. So like when they're done, I feel like they're kind of like, hey, all that stuff that happened before, it's all water under the bridge now. They're like, and then the next day when they're not feeling anything, they're like, let's do it again. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah, it's sort of bonding in that way. I am actually just gonna, before we do this, I'm gonna refill one of my glass of milk because I got through a lot of that on my last one.
Hey, that's the move.
You're very nice, by the way, to send milk. Thank you for that. I did have some, but you're very kind.
Hey, shout out Dom.
Yes, thank you, Dom. All right, okay. Fuck the butt. Okay. Start off with this. I don't know what a small amount is anymore. This is why I can't drink anymore. All right. I mean, impressively, it is cutting through the last one and replacing that flavour with whatever new flavour this is.
But you're going back in for more.
I think I maybe was slightly cowardly then. I'm gonna...
Respect.
Okay. Yeah. The combination of all of them is almost like, yeah, it produces a slightly stimulant effect. There's just a nice little head rush sometimes when you get that hot feeling. That's enjoyable.
So I haven't met many Brits who prefer the American version of football. How did a kid from the UK become all consumed with playing fantasy and rooting for the New York Giants?
It was when I was doing the musical. It was when I was doing How to Succeed. And somebody was like, I'm doing a fantasy league. I need numbers. Like, can you just come up with a team? And I was like, okay, fine. And I had no interest in it. And then 3 weeks in, I was informed that my team was 0-3 because, I hadn't opened my profile or done anything to it. And I was like, well, that sucks. I don't want to be 0-3. I don't want to be at the bottom of the league. So I suppose I'll take an interest in that. And then that was just it. I became completely obsessed. And it's a perfect sport for fantasy. There are so many ways of quantifying football, not just in the point scoring, but also in yards and that you can build an incredible kind of game around it. But NFL and NHL, because my girlfriend is from just outside Detroit, so she was a big Red Wings fan growing up. So those are my two adopted sports. Okay. Definitely still tasting the last two. Oh yeah, I can smell this already.
Yeah.
I just realised I was dabbing at some more of the sauce on the plate, and I realised I just dabbed a bit more of the bomb by accident. That was an error.
Classic Hot Ones mistake, but it's one that you make when you fully commit to the process of doing a Hot Ones. Here we are at the curtain call, slamming the door shut on your episode and saying goodbye to season 13 And as we say goodbye, we'll also be saying goodbye to some of these sauces. So I want to take this opportunity, last episode of the year, to ask you this. Daniel Radcliffe, would you be so kind? It would be an honor if you could rank the season 13 Hot Ones sauce gauntlet from the sauce that you like the most to the sauce that you like the least.
Okay, yes. Well, obviously, like, this guy is right at the bottom. No one needs to try that. I would say this one also similarly is like so hot that it's not really nice. There is some flavor there, but it's not, I wouldn't like, my mouth has gone entirely numb. So if you just want to experience that, that's very good. But it's not, the bomb I would just not do. There is no reason for that. Then probably this one again, because I like, but then it would be, this is my favorite, the Goat Rider. That ended up being my favorite, because that is like barbecuey and intense, with a little bit of that kick, but still very, very pleasant. Same for both of these. I enjoyed both of them a lot. They, that was the one that I was thought like, oh, this is going to start to get unpleasant here, and it's actually like just the right amount of fieriness. Oh yeah, that last dab really hangs around, doesn't it?
But you know what? You handled it, you took it down, the Hot Ones gauntlet, slayed by Daniel Radcliffe, and now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you and say goodbye to season 13. This camera, that camera, probably just the camera you're looking at. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm, building a lot of Lego because back inside. But if you want to watch stuff with me, you can watch Escape From Pretoria, that is on demand. Also, I did a movie called Guns Akimbo, that is very, very crazy, and that's on demand too, I think. I was in the Kimmy Schmidt movie that was on Netflix this year with Ellie Kemper and lots of amazing other people, and written by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock and and Sam Means and Meredith Scardino. Thank God I remembered her last name. They are amazing, and what they pardon me, what they wrote on that show is still blows my mind. So if people want to go and check that out, that's also cool.
Good job, Daniel. Good job.
Thank you so much for having me. That was also a lovely interview, by the way. Thank you very much. And we'll see how it goes the next time I go to the toilet. I may write and complain. Who knows?
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? Sean Evans with a very exciting announcement. Wrap your heads around this one, people. The Hot Ones 10-pack, it's finally here. That's right, you've been asking us for years and years and years. And after a nice little workaround with a certain sauce that is kind of tricky with the distribution, we finally put together the Hot Ones 10-pack just in time for the holidays. Perfect for the Spice Lord on your gift list, or if you just want to ruin a family gathering, the Hot Ones 10-pack is here for you. Heatness.com, Heatness.com, Heatness.com to get your hands on the Hot Ones 10-pack. The Hot Ones 10-pack. We finally sort of did it.